Hello, we are from Group 3, and this is our presentation for our assignment 1. So for our assignment, our team consists of me, Du Haowen, Pang Shuwen, Srita, Tani Han, and Tu Chiling. So I'll kickstart the presentation by presenting our Part A. So for the first question of Part A, the question states, is it possible to bind SOAP and Web Services Description Language WSDL? Explain your answer in detail. And our answer is yes, it is possible to bind SOAP and Web Services Description Language WSDL. SOAP uses WSDL files to generate varieties of services such as generating test requests, assertions, and mock services. So for the second question, the question states the general structure of a SOAP XML request is depicted in Figure 1. Using the input body structure shown in Figure 2, create an appropriate structure file for the SOAP XML response. So Figure 1 and Figure 2 is shown as here. So our answer for the second question of Part A is, as stated, envelope XML with the link of schemas xmlsoap.org/soap/envelope with text as body, and the next one is to get course detail request with its ID as xmlns equal to http://uthm.com/fsktm/course with its main structure as the ID, which name is course 1, the name as stated is web technology security, its description is encryption, and we have the 3 that is the closing statement for the 3 of the structure that we have stated up there, which is get course detail response, body, and envelope.
Good day to Madam and my friends. My name is Tani Han, and I'm going to continue to present Part A number 3, 4, and 5. So for Part A number 3, based on your understanding from the SOAP response file in Figure 3, suggests 3 matching information that should exist in the Web Services Description Language WSDL file. So based on the SOAP response file in Figure 3, the matching information that should exist in the Web Services Description Language WSDL file is XML namespace. In Figure 3, the target namespace declaration in the WSDL should match the namespace used in the SOAP response, which is http://www.thebank.org terms. Then the second is message definition. For example, the elements in rate and monthly val should be read along with respective data types because a WSDL file should include the definition of the message structure used in the SOAP response. The third is port type. A WSDL file should define a port type that includes an operation related to the long response. Therefore, the operation should have an appropriate name and input or output message definition. Then, number 4 is what is your understanding of the SOAP for message, explained by way of examples. So, in my understanding, SOAP for message is a standardized format used in SOAP-based web services to convey error or exception information. It allows the server to communicate error details to the client in a structured manner. For example, if a client sends a request with invalid input data, the server can respond with a SOAP fault message indicating the error. The SOAP fault message typically includes elements such as fault code, fault string, and fault detail. The fault code will specify the type of error, the fault string provides a human-readable description about the error, and the fault detail can contain additional error-specific information. This standardized approach ensures consistent error handling and effective communication between the client and server in case of errors or exceptions. Next is number 5, which is describe the role of UDDI in web service in detail. So UDDI, which is Universal Description, Discovery, and Integration, it provides a centralized directory or registry where business can publish and discover information about available web services. It acts as a yellow pages for web service, enabling service providers to advertise their service and service consumers to find and understand those services. So the role of UDDI in web services may include service registry, service description, service discovery, interoperability, and dynamic binding, and some more. So in overall, the UDDI plays a vital role in web services by providing a central hub for service providers and service consumers. It simplifies service integration, promotes interoperability, and facilitates the growth and adoption of web service across diverse environments. Thank you.
Good day to Madam. My name is Tu Chuling, so I will explain about Part B, Question 1. This is the coding of employee detail of web service project. So it starts with packet.org.employee details. The web service name is employee details. Then we publish the class names as employee details. Then we put the public static class with employee. Then inside employee, we have private integer value of EMP ID, private string EMP names, private integer EMP age, and also private double EMP salary. Then we point all the things in the public static class employee by using this function. Then we open a public class with integer get EMP ID to return EMP ID. Then we open public void set EMP ID and get the integers of EMP ID by using point this EMP ID equal to EMP ID. This step is repeated by EMP names, EMPH, and also EMP salary by using get and set function. Lastly, the operation name is get employee. We will publish the list of employee into get employee, and the list of employee equal to employee new ever list. So we will add the employee followed by the EMP ID, EMP names, EMPH, and EMP salary. There are three samples of employee that we will add into our data. This is the output of web service project. The class name show is employee details. Inside the method, the operation name is get employee. When click to get employee operations button, they will jump to the next page, which is like this. They will show the method parameters and returns values. Below that, they will show the SOAP request and the SOAP response coding.
Hello and a very good evening to Madam Rusma. I'm Shrita. I would like to present for question part B. So in this slide, we can see that this is the scenario given for question part B of assignment 1. So these are the sub-questions of question part B. The first question is that assuming that one of the requesters is Johor Corporate System, write down a possible SOAP response to this system. Question B is demonstrate a possible WSDL document to describe the service. You're only required to write down the elements that come with text, message, and port type. And question C is write the web service using Java. So here's the answer for question A. It starts with envelope tag of SOAP response. After opening the envelope tag, it has mentioned the first namespace for the SOAP response with the URL http://www.johorcorporatesystem.com/soap/response. /soap.response. And then after mentioning the first name tag, it has mentioned the second name tag for the body part, header and body part of this SOAP response, which is with the namespace of VS equals to with the URL http://malaysiavaccination.program.com/VS. After that, we can start with the header tag, which here we can see that the header tag is empty. So that's why it has mentioned in that format. After inserting header tag, we will insert the body tag, and the body tag which starts with vaccination status response opening tag. After mentioning the opening tag of vaccination status response, we'll start with the status tag name, and then with the data which is mentioned as approved. And after that, the second tag will be appointment, opening tag of appointment, and then under the appointment tags will be venue tag and date tag. So after opening the venue tag, we mention the venue of the vaccination place, which is Parit Raja Vaccination Center. After that, we'll mention the close tag of this venue tag. After that, we'll move on to date opening tag, which is the date in the format of year, month, and date. After mentioning in that format of the date, we'll close it with the close tag of that date. After inserting all this, we'll end our SOAP response with by closing the appointment tag, closing the vaccination status response tag, and closing our body tag, and ends with closing tag of envelope for this SOAP response. So this is how we'll write a complete SOAP response according to question A.
So for now, I will explain about questions 2B. It starts from XML versions 1.0 and according UTF-8, and followed by definitions XML and X equal to https www.malaysiavaccinations.org.wsdl, XMLS SOAP equal to https schema xml soap.org/wsdl/soap, and also XMLS TNS https myvaccinations.org. Then followed by XMLNS XSD equal to https www.w3.org/2001/XML schema, and the name of this service is Malaysia Vaccination Service. Then it followed by two message name, which is check vaccination request and check vaccination response. In check vaccinations request, there are two parts, which are identifications number and mobile number. Two of these elements followed by DNX check vaccination request. For the check vaccination report message, response message. There are 3 parts including: first, the part name is vaccination status response. The type is XSD string, followed by second part name is vaccinations appointment venue. Type is XSD strings, and the last part is vaccinations appointment date with the type of XSD day string. Last part in this WSDL is port type. The port type name in this WSDL is Malaysia Vaccination Service, and the operation name is Vaccination Response Check. In this port type, the input message will be TNS Vaccination Response Check, and the output message will be DNS Vaccination Response Check. Then we'll follow by close the operations, close the port type, and the definitions. That's all from part 2 questions 2B.
Good evening to Madam. I'm Pang Suwan. Now I'm going to explain the part B to C. So the question mentioned that we have to write web service by using Java, and this is the coding of web service. First line of coding is package Malaysia Vaccination Service.org. The service name is Malaysia Vaccination Service, and the operation name is check vaccination. As the question mentioned that user have to enter the identification number and mobile number to check their vaccination status. So we have provided 2 columns for user to enter their identification number and mobile number. So first we declare string status of vaccination equals to get data from Ministry of Health for identification number and mobile number. This line of coding is one to access database of Ministry of Health Malaysia to obtain the status of vaccination. So next line, we use if statement. If status of vaccination equals to null, meaning the data have been entered by user, which is identification number and mobile number, is not recorded in the database of Ministry of Health Malaysia. So the system will return unable to find information of the vaccination for this given IC number and mobile number. Next, we also using if statement. If status of vaccination equals to have not vaccinate, the system will display this person currently have not vaccinated. Next, we declare string information of appointment equals to get information of appointment for identification number and mobile number. So this declaration want to access the database of Ministry of Health Malaysia to obtain the information of appointment, which is venue of appointment and date of appointment. So here we're using if statement again. If information of appointment is not equals to null, the system will display the vaccination status of this person is status of vaccination, and the information of appointment is information of appointment, which is venue of appointment and date of appointment. So next, we declare private string get data from Ministry of Health for string identification number and string mobile number. So this one we want to return identification number and mobile number in string form, and also want to access the database from Ministry of Health Malaysia to obtain the status of vaccination. Next, we declare private string get information of appointment for string identification number and string mobile number. And this declaration will be return the identification number and mobile number in string form, and also want to access database of Ministry of Health Malaysia to obtain the information of appointment, which is venue of appointment and date of appointment. So this is the output of the web service, which is check vaccination. If the user is not enter their identification number and mobile number, or they have entered their information but is invalid, so the system will display unable to find information of the vaccination for this given IC number and mobile number. So thank you, and that's the presentation from our group 3.